this computer. All right, so today's question is chapter 9, lesson 4. How do I multiply a decimal by a decimal? I do want to talk about what a decimal is first. Does anyone remember what a decimal is? If you remember, just unmute yourself and tell me. No one. No one knows. Go ahead, Nick M.
A number that is a number that is smaller than 0. No, that's not how I want to say it. A number that
a value
that is something less.
No, go. Less
than 0.
No. Well, no, it can't be. Less than 0 is negative numbers.
Then a whole number?
What?
Then a whole number? Like a value less than like 2 whole numbers?
You're not wrong. A value between 0 and 1. Every decimal is a value between 0 and 1. So like 1.23. The decimal is 0.23. That's between 0 and 1. So when we're working with this example, and I need you to tell me if you don't understand this. What is 0.8 times 0? No one knows. 0.8 times 0, Sophia. What is 0.8 times 0? Hold on, I'm waiting for Sophia. Okay, good job, Sophia. Yep. Does that make sense so far? 0.8 times 0 is 0. What is 0.8 times 1? Oh, can you see that? There. What is 0.8 times 1? Christina?
0.8.
Yep. So what we need to think about in this problem, if we're taking 0.8 and we're multiplying it by a number between 0 and 1, my answer is going to be somewhere between 0 and 0.8. When I calculate this exact answer, it's not going to be 0, it's going to be greater than 0, and it can't be 0.8. It's going to be less than 0.8. Does that make sense? So where did Alex Darby go? Oh, we're going to have some words, he and I. All right, so let's go ahead and calculate this out. Any ideas on where I should begin? Here's my how. You're going to multiply as if there are no decimal. Wait, that's like exactly like yesterday, right? It is. So that's going to be step 1. So if I were calculating this problem, 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 0 is 0 plus 4 is 4. My next value is a 0. I need to process that. Don't just skip it. I'm going to put in my 0. 0 times 8 is 0, and 0 times 0 is 0. Then I add my partial product. Excellent. Step 2 is to count the number of decimal place values in each factor. It's exactly like we did yesterday. The how is exactly the same. Now, if I just brought that decimal point down, where would it go? It would go right here. Remember, I talked about that. When you're multiplying, you don't just bring your decimal point down. How many place values in this factor? 1. How many place values in this factor? 1. What is 1 plus 1? 2. 2 is your magic number for this problem. You're going to use that number to slide your decimal point over here.
Because of the reason. And then because the speech. So just cut it in half.
So what we do is we pretend that the decimal point was there, and we're going to move it over 2 spots. 1, 2. So my exact answer 0.48. Now, going back to what I said in the beginning, notice that 0.48 is between 0 and 0.8.
Feels like I've been on it for a while.
0.48 is greater than 0, and 0.48 is less than 0.8. Your answer when you're multiplying by a decimal is going to be less than what you started with. Does anyone have any questions so far? Holy cow, this is easier than I thought it would be. Oh, praise Jesus. All right. Let me have you try one by yourself. Give that one a shot. Try it by yourself.
Can we start?
Yep, go ahead and start.
Yeah.
multiply it out as if it had no decimals, add your partial products, count your decimal place values in each factor, then move the decimal point to the final product that number of spaces. Alex, what happened? Where'd you go?
Like my internet, like
Okay, thank you.
something happened.
Okay, thank you.
Should we just put the thumbs up reaction thing?
No, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, put your thumbs up. Sure, hands up, thumbs up, whatever. Click your button. There should be a hands up, thumbs up somewhere. I don't know where that is. I think everyone's pretty much done. Take your time.
If we're finished, can we estimate it?
You can, you're not, I mean, your homework isn't gonna have you estimating tonight. If you want to, you can. Excellent. Mr. Franco Gomez, why don't you walk me through the solution?
You first do 5 times 3 times 5.
You get what? What do you get when you get 3 times 5?
15.
Thank you. And then?
3 times 6 is 18. Plus 1 is 19.
Perfect. Notice I'm not putting decimals in my partial product. You leave the decimals out. Go ahead, Nick.
Then you do 7 times 5. That's
Not yet, you don't. What do we got to do first? Put your 0 in, and now you can do 7 times 5. Go ahead.
35.
Go ahead.
And then 7 times 6 is 42. Plus 3 is 45.
Good job, Nick. Go
And then
ahead.
you add
Go ahead.
0 plus 0. 5 plus 0 is 5. 9 plus 5 is 14. 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7,
Keep going.
and then 4.
Yep. Now what?
You you go to what?
What do I do now? I'm on step 2. What is step 2? Look at your notebook.
Count the number of decimal places valid. Wait,
Right. How many decimal places here?
1,
How many decimal places here?
1,
What is 1 plus 1?
2,
Go ahead. Step 3.
move the decimal point 2 spaces. 1,
1,
2,
2. So what is my final answer?
47.45
Correct.
hundred.
Did anyone else get 47.45? Perfect. Did anyone get something different? Anyone get something different? Excellent. Let's do one more. I think we're good. Let's do one more.
24.6.
Once you've written it down, you can go ahead and start.
31, 34.
I'm going to write something on the side. You don't need to write this. So if you're multiplying 24 and 6/10, by 0, you get 0. By 1, you get 24.6. So your answer must be somewhere in between 0 and 24.6. Yes, Alex, I will. The recording is also going to be available, Alex, so you can just watch the recording again. All right, Alyssa, why don't you walk me through what you've got so far? Hold on, you got to unmute yourself. That's okay. Start at the beginning. What do you do first?
First, you have to do 6 times 3,
Which is
18.
perfect. Keep going.
And then we're going to do 5 times 0, which is 0.
I'm sorry, what?
5 times 0. No, wow. You're going to do 5 times 0. Wait. Well, 5. No, 5 times 0.
Where do you see a 5?
Well, you added 1 to the 4.
Not yet. You multiply first. 3 times 4, and then you add the 1 when you're done.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's why I was confused. Okay.
So what's
Okay.
3 times 4?
3 times 4 is 12.
Plus 1?
13.
And now
You
3 times 2
times 2 is 6.
plus the 1.
7.
Excellent. Keep going. Let's put our 0 in,
Okay.
and then we multiply by 0. 0 times 6,
Is 6. I mean, is 0. Ugh.
take a breath. 0 times 4,
Is 0.
0 times 3.
Is 0.
Right. Do you notice there's 4 zeros, but only 3 digits?
Yeah.
Why?
Um.
Why are there 4 zeros here if there's only 3 digit in that factor? Anyone have any ideas? Why are there 4 zeros, Riley F?
Because when you're putting your second partial product, you have to add a 0 first.
Right.
And
This
then you
one doesn't count, remember? This one is so that you can multiply by that digit. These are the 6, the 4, and the 2. This one's by itself. So now, Alyssa, I'm going to add those together. 8 plus 0 is?
8.
3 plus 0 is?
3.
7 plus 0 is?
7.
0 plus 0 is?
0.
Now what do I do?
You have to find where you put the decimal
Good
point.
girl. Yep. How many decimal places in this number?
1.
How many decimal places in this number?
1.
What's 1 plus 1?
2.
So let's move the decimal place over. 1, 2 spaces. What is my final product?
7.38.
Correct. And notice that 7.38 is between 0 and 24.6. Okay. Mr. D, I would like a challenge problem. I would like one that's harder than this. Let's try this one. Let's see what happens. This is a bonus. This is for fun. Go ahead. If you get stuck, let me know. I don't think you will.
It really wasn't that hard.
Yeah, it is.
No,
It
it's
was
not.
pretty easy.
It's easy.
It's
That was
4
easy.
decimal places.
It
Exactly.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's like easier.
You
Yeah.
put it at the end.
All right, Marcello, walk me through it. You gotta unmute yourself. Sorry, that's okay. We forget.
So first you multiply 7 times 4,
You get what?
which is 28.
Go ahead.
Then 7 times 2,
Is
which is 14 plus 2 is 16. Then
Going.
7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8.
keep
Then
going.
you add a 0. And then you do 4 times 4, which is 16. Then 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 1 is 9.
Keep going.
Then 4 times 1 is 4.
Keep going.
And then you add 8 plus 0 is 0.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what?
8 plus 0,
Is what?
0. No, 8, sorry. And then 6 plus 6 is 12. And then 8 plus 9 is, wait, I can't. 8 plus 9 is 18.
8 plus 9 is 17.
No, plus the 1.
Is 18.
Yeah. And then 1 plus 4 is 5.
Go ahead.
Then see how many decimal places are in 1.24, 2. And then how many decimal places are in 0.47, 2. So you add them and it's 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 is at the beginning. The decimal point is at first.
So my final answer is did anyone get that as their answer? Oh, you're geniuses.
No.
Fantastic. All right. Your independent work today is workbook page 104. The top few problems, let me show you. I don't want you doing them. They look like these grid things. You're not doing those. I didn't teach you that way, so don't worry about that. There's no boxes under them, so don't worry about it. I only put boxes under the problems that I wanted you to do. Okay? And I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 problems that you need to do. There's not a lot at all. Okay? That is going to show up in your Google Classroom at 10:30. At 10:30, that's going to show up. Sophia, did you have a question? Yeah, you can. Do you have a question? Oh, you're good? Okay. Dylan, are you all set?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Any other questions? All right, please make sure you do your math independent work, and please make sure you fill out your survey after 2 o'clock. I need to get those surveys in. They count as a grade, and some of you, I'm not going to name names, some of you are missing like 3 of them. So please, after 2 o'clock, fill out that survey. I need to have it back. Go ahead, Reva.
Mr. D.
Hold on. Reva, go ahead.
Mr. D, I forgot to do it yesterday, so I did it this morning.
That's fine, as long as I have it. That's what I care about.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mr. D.
Yes, Dylan.
You should post the surveys at like 1:30
Why?
because it's really easy to forget about if like you're doing all your work.
Why?
And then, like,
Why is 1:30 better than 2 o'clock?
because like you don't have to wait that long till like 2 o'clock.
The purpose of putting it out at 2 o'clock is some people, I know you would never do this, some people are going to fill it out as soon as I put it out. And if the earlier I put it out, they're going to fill it out not having done all their work. So Mrs. King and I want to make sure that you've done all your work before the survey gets filled out.
Okay.
So I hear you. I understand what you're talking about. There's some kids, as soon as they see that, like if we put that thing out at 8 o'clock in the morning, they would fill it out at 8:01 and they would make up answers just to get it done. So that's happening. Some kids are doing that. They did it on their religion quiz. They're doing it on their math quizzes. They're putting in random answers so they can be done. And it's not going over very well. So that's why we kind of did that. Okay. If you are having a problem with a quiz, if you don't do well on a quiz or you want to redo something, you have to come to online office time or you have to come to online math office time and ask me. You need to come to that online office time. You're not just going to get a free, can I do it over again? You need to come to that office time so we can have a conversation about it. Okay? If you had email, then we could email back and forth. And I don't want those conversations happening through the stream. Okay? So if you don't do well on an English quiz or a math quiz or whatever, come to the online office time, have a conversation with me or Mrs. King, and then we can talk about it, okay? All right. I'm going to end this meeting, and we're going to you're going to go over to your meeting with Mrs. King.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.